The scene is set as Mortimer leaves the Lord and the Lady once more. As he steps out into the night, he pulls out his cell phone and dials the number of Miss Kalliope Tavoularis. He knows that she was one of the 3 people who went on the raid of the Asylum, and the last thing he would want to do is trouble her, especially after the ordeal she had. But he has a plan, and he's determined to do something to help this city survive, even if it is a small thing. So, he takes out his cell phone and calls.
Ring, ring. Yeah.
Oh, Calliope, I'd hate to trouble you, but might I stop by for a minute? I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah, I'm here. You can come over. They'll buzz you in.
All right, thanks. Although, this is a sort of a sensitive topic. It's about the events of last night.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. We'll get anybody out of the room that doesn't need to be there.
All right, then. I'm on my way. And with that, he'll hang up the phone, hail a cab, and expediently head toward Miss Calliope's residence.
Zip, zip, zoom, zoom. They get over to the Looking Glass Cabaret. Excuse me. On a Thursday night, it's a little bit slower. There seem to be, some standard bar crowd in the cabaret itself, but nothing particular of a show, nothing going on. He'll go up through some of the floors. There's a more of a lounge jazz pianist kind of playing in the floor that has the Tweedledee and Tweedledum lounge, and the club scene area is pretty much closed down for the night. People can't really go in there. And he'll make his way up towards the top floor where the VIP room's been closed off for the night, and go in there and see Calliope sitting at one of the red circular tables that has the hearts dangling above it. The ever-present theme of the venue there. And she'll just be sitting over a bunch of papers.
Mortimer will approach and announce his presence with as pleasant as possible a "Good evening, Miss Calliope. I didn't expect to see you here. It seems that we had the same idea when we awoke for this night."
Mr. Fitzgerald, come on in. Been dealing with paperwork and contracts and the other usual crap.
Well, I'm pleased to see that business is going on as usual within the city after everything that's happened, and he'll just sort of leave it at that as he approaches and sits down adjacent to her.
Have you gotten to find out if anything else? I mean, I don't have High Call's number. I haven't gotten to text him to see what happened after he just vanished.
After contacting the Prince and the Harpies, Mr. Stanhope says that he's taking care of the situation. I have not talked to Laird much, but I do believe that he had High Call's number. I know he spoke of him on several occasions on a personal note. So I'm certain that everything is being done in that regards. But I have not heard anything in particular dealing with the Malkavian Primogen.
Well, we're not dead yet.
Yes, thank goodness. I suppose some legends do and don't live up to the hype associated with them, which is good in this instance. I was half expecting to wake up to the sight of the Great Old Ones walking amongst the city, buildings falling, tidal waves crashing, etc., etc. But enough about that, as he sort of notices that he might have touched a nerve and hastily backpedals. I want to do something to help, and unfortunately I'm not a fighter, and I'm not a politician, but I am a storyteller. and unfortunately storytellers are only good at telling stories and researching stories. I have, as he'll sort of lean in, I know a guy in Boston. A while ago, I helped him out with something, and we became friends. He's kind, but he doesn't suspect.
Doesn't matter. They're useful.
Yes. Yes, we've been in contact over the years. I've asked him questions about matters of supernatural or occult underlinings since he is an archaeologist, and he's been able to provide some interesting information that I've been able to use in some of my earlier works. And my hope is that if we were to send him a fax of the mural that you saw, a recreation of it, if you will, we might be able to learn something that we could use in case things become more like the old tales.
Well, I can try to draw it back out, but I'm a cabaret performer, not an artist. I can attempt to see how I draw, but perhaps I should make that attempt while describing things to you as well, in case a written narrative will prove more useful to him.
Right. Then we'll do both. As he pulls out his bag and produces several pieces of paper, one completely blank, like artist sketch paper, and another one lined, which he will use to record down, again, the description of the tapestry as Kalliope remembers it.
Yep. Having a perfect memory, she can see the whole entire thing in her head, but it's just a matter of getting her hands to do what she wants them to do, not being an artist, being a musician. So she'll go through first and just recant verbally what everything looked like, and then start drawing down, like she'll draw a sketch of the whole thing just with like the outlines of shapes, you know, like the silhouettes like you would do before you fill anything in to get the proportions right, and then she'll sketch over the sketch lines with a little bit more detail with a pencil, and then run over to the bar and grab like a stack of just, you know, different colored pencil things that had been used there for the servers to like mark various things on their serving papers when they're taking orders and going to tables. And she'll attempt to add just some of the color back in with the color pencils, but she describes the mural as it comes back into her mind as a image of a battle with 7 warriors on one side with the curved shaped axes like we saw down in the underground. They have a handle. They're not quite like a scimitar, but they curve just a little bit, almost like a crescent moon. But it's an axe, not a sword. And each of the warriors happens to have one of those. And the warriors are standing with a stairway behind them, as if they came down a stairway. A slim woman with a silhouetted soldier next to her stands in front of them as if they were facing off in a battle. The woman, slim and lithe in her figure, is shooting fire from her hands as she's battling the rest of these 7 warriors. And then the silhouetted soldier almost looks like he's moving over to go in towards them and wrestle them down with his brute strength. She recants how the blood from this battle just was littering the bottom of the mural and the set of the wall, as if what might have happened in the past was exceptionally bloody as well. And then she reminds Mortimer of how the mural itself almost looked like it had a thin, continuous red line coming from it, as if the mural was bleeding out, traveling from the battle depiction over towards a door with a smiling red circle above it. Whether or not that was a smiling, content blood moon, she'll recount back to Mortimer how when they all died, they had the smiles on their faces, and how when she touched the wall that had the picture of the axes on it, she got this vibe of either like Inca or Aztec or Mayan or something old and ritualized, and just doesn't know if it was like the humans screwing things up, or if something might actually be that old, or if they were just trying to recreate something. Doesn't know. But she pretty much has the picture of the mural down, and let me see what I should roll for this bad boy now.
You can roll. It's gonna be Dex and Expression for your sketch to see how good it went.
Hey, celerity counts.
Yes. Mortimer, did you say you were also gonna be writing it down while she was speaking?
Yes.
It? So for you,
writing.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. For you, put Wits and Expression,
All right then.
and we'll see who does better.
All right. For Mortimer, it will be 6.
Okay, so we got three successes on you. That's good.
What's the difficulty?
6, sir.
6. All right.
Yes. Oh, did you get to see his? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he had 4. So his narrative, he didn't have any 1s. So his narrative's a little better than mine, but at least she's got like a visual plan to be able to display with the rest of his details written down. You know.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was 4 too. I just didn't get to see it. It's fine. So actually, yeah, it was next to this part, so I don't know what he was gonna do after that. But you can, if you want, while he comes back, probably keep explaining other things if need be. If need be.
Oh, there he is.
Never mind. You okay there?
Well, that was regrettable.
With 4 successes.
Did you guys see the 4 successes, though?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That was the worst time to accidentally right-click something. Okay, Mortimer got 4 successes.
Cool. So you can continue. Obviously, the next part is you calling up your contact. So.
All right then. So the next thing Mortimer would do is ask Kalliope if she has a fax machine around here or some other means in which to do this. And he'll then explain that his plan is, he thought about it a while ago, actually here at the cabaret earlier this night, and that he had many ideas, one of which was to say that he knew of somebody who was on an archaeological duty and they uncovered a tapestry of this description, but in the end he decided to play it a little bit closer to the belt. And so he was going to sell it as a private art exhibit was held at the local museum by a wealthy owner, and one of the exhibits in there was this mural as Kalliope depicted.
Nice.
Alright, would there be like a fax machine at the cabaret?
Yeah, they have one. It's like downstairs in the office, or she looks over at Mortimer with like the rest of like the iPad. She's like, you know, you have an 8-megapixel camera in your phone. Like, it'll probably go through better with a digital picture from your iPhone than it will in the fax machine.
As he like sort of pauses for a minute and is like, blast it! I always keep forgetting about that.
Well, faxes are great for basic papers, but they don't really do color either.
Yeah, good idea. As he will pull out his phone and sort of fumble around with it, trying to get the camera up.
Just looks at the iPhone as he clicks on the screen and is like, so, see the camera in the bottom right corner? You slide your finger up, and it goes straight to the camera. You don't even have to, like, dig for it.
What? As he's like, oh wow, that's convenient.
Yeah. And if you turn it this way, you can just click the little button that's sticking off the side. If you're turning it sideways like a camera, you can click that because it's on top in the right-hand corner, just like an old-fashioned camera would be.
Click.
Apple, send us money.
Oh. What convenience.
And then she'll look over and say, okay, so now you got it. You don't need, let's check out the color. Color looks okay. That bottom left-hand corner where it looks like a square with a little arrow, that's the send button. So you can just send it, and you can either text it to them, or you can send it in an email.
Alright, then I will Do you think most archaeologists would have a phone like this nowadays? Oh, of course they would. I mean, so
100% guaranteed.
He doesn't know. All right, so at that point he will call up his contact, sort of looking around, seeing who's around.
Ring. Ring. Hello?
Hello, Jared?
Hey, who's this?
Dude, it's me. It's Mortimer.
Sorry, man. You caught me during Chinese. You know I love my Chinese.
Sorry, man. I'd normally call you back, but dude, you are not gonna believe what I just ran into the other day.
Was it another one of your crazy stories?
Well, you could say that. Like, I'm in New Sarum actually right now.
New Sarum?
Yeah. I heard about this private art exhibit that was being held at the local museum, and dude, there was this really, really weird exhibit they had there. Like, I can't even describe it, but dude, I think I have the perfect idea for a new book based on it.
Well, let me guess. You want me to make sure the history flows with your story?
Yep, you're my man.
What am I not? Although, add a character, Mortimer, roll me charisma and leadership.
Alright, you got it. And since he's not in direct contact with him, does eerie presence count?
No. No, it does not.
Okay, so that's just charisma and leadership?
Yes.
Alright, he does not have leadership, so that's just going to be 3.
Okay, it's +1 difficulty for you then.
Alright then.
You only need 1 success though, so you're good.
Alright.
Your story checks out, and he kind of just like he trusts you. You guys you've been friends for a while. How you sending it, man? As he so you hear him slurping on some lo mein.
Be like, I finally got the new iPhone.
Did you, man? Are you gonna send it through a Messenger or FaceTime or I don't even know how to work this thing.
I was gonna try text message.
Oh, go ahead, man.
All right.
I got you. That's simple.
As he's like on his phone again, and he's like, sort of turns to Clive and he's like, how exactly do you attach a picture to a text?
She'll look at him and go, okay, so, oh wait, no, your phone turned off. From that app. She looks over and says, you're on the phone. You can't use your data. Give him a second, okay? You're going to hang up on him for a second. We're going to send it over, and then you can call him back.
Okay, I'm going to have to hang up on you for a sec.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Okay, I'll call you in a sec.
Good.
Apple's not that smart. You can't use your data and your phone at the same time. But now that you're out, hit the circle.
All right.
Okay, up in the top left hand, the green thing that looks like a little talking bubble.
Okay.
All right, and then find him in your list of friends.
I got it.
Okay, and then there's a little green button. A little button that looks like a camera. It's a circle and kind of in the bottom left.
I see it.
Nope.
All right.
You click on that. It's going to say, do you want to take a picture or do you want to add a picture from your photo album? You want to add it.
Confusing. Why couldn't have just been clicking on it like the other one?
Well, we could do it that way too, but we're going this way. There's a couple ways to do it. Okay. So it should be the last picture that you took, so it should be right up there at the top of your camera roll.
Okay.
All right. Now you click on it. We don't need to resize it or anything. It's already good, so you can click OK Use in the top right-hand corner.
All right. Up. There it goes.
All right, and send, and he should get it, and it'll tell you if it was delivered.
Okay.
He'll receive it, and obviously, once he receives it, he's gonna shoot it onto his iCloud and open it up on his computer.
You go look at Mortimer too and say, Mortimer, did you give him a description yet?
Oh no, not yet. As he like.
Okay, yeah. Well, you could send it as a written description, Have you
Oh
done
yeah,
that?
that'll be way easier. Is he actually knows how to send a text message a lot better than it is to send a photo. As he turns the phone to the side and it's just and then he's got the description down and sends it.
It's like, did you know you can also dictate your text messages?
You can talk to it.
As he just dictate? You mean like a dictograph?
Yeah, just like a dictograph.
Wow. Really? Wow, is there anything that this thing can't do?
Well, I can't surf the internet and talk on the phone at the same time.
Huh. That seems understandable. As he'll call Jarrett again.
He picks up after a couple of ringtones, though, this time, because he's kind of working and talking. And man, what is this that you sent me, man?
I know, creepy, right? It's gonna be perfect for this new story.
You're crazy, man. This thing looks ancient. Let me
I
see.
know, right?
Thanks for the description, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean, this exhibit was so elaborately done. I think it might have belonged to some auteur who lives here.
Yeah. He keeps he's listening to you, but he's also concentrating on it.
He's in his own.
It'll actually hey man, I'm gonna call you back in about, let's say, 30 minutes. This is a pretty big sketch. By the way, I didn't know you were so good at drawing. You sucked at it when you were here.
Oh no, I got a friend to do it for me.
Oh, making friends. Good job, man. Good job.
I know, right? Ah.
I'll give you a call in a bit.
All right, take care.
Peace. As he hangs up, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the roll. Let's see what John put. Okay, so this guy's pretty good at his archaeology since he's been doing it almost all his life. Let's see. So okay, 6 dice, and then the DC was on the sketch, which you got 3 successes plus your 3. I would probably bump it up 1 because of the amount. You did a complete success basically, so we'll say it was at 4 successes and DC 5. Okay, you got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes. Awesome. Yeah, you're gonna get a pretty amazing description actually. But yeah, he's working on it. Actually, if you guys, we can either fast forward or you guys can discuss some stuff by yourselves for a moment, whatever you want to do.
All right then. As I suppose they're waiting, Mortimer's going to impatiently tap the table, just sort of looking at the phone. Kalliope would sort of compare it to somebody waiting from a call for their doctor to see if the tests come back positive or negative.
You relax on that, Mortimer. It's not going to come back any faster than he's going to get it done.
I know. This is just... I mean, if this doesn't work, I don't know what else I can do.
At least it's something. Everybody's got a different skill set of talents. She looks over at the smaller upright in the corner. She says, I started on, being a kid that had a music ed degree in school and worked my way through the evenings for grad school, half selling sex, half selling showbiz, half selling musicality that would never make it mainstream, but just enough to be able to get by to pay the bills. There's always somebody that can do something fantastic, and you just always feel like you're just another one in the mix, But
yeah.
don't let them piss in your Wheaties. You know what Wheaties are, right?
Yes, I know what Wheaties are, not the
I
seven.
don't know. I used to tell my sire that, and he had no clue.
Hmm.
He was from the talkies days.
I see.
In fact, that was what he used to do. I'd walk in on him, and he'd be sitting there trying to catch up on cinematography from modern nights and would just power watch movies.
Well, that is certainly unique. My sire was... She was more of a bookworm. like, she would go crazy with a mural like this if it related to the old ones. She was so fascinated with the history of our kindred folk.
Leopold didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Mm.
He wasn't overly ambitious either. A simple enough man to be able to stay focused on what he needed to do, keep a low enough profile, and not draw attention to himself.
Mm. That is interesting for a Toreador, but I suppose we all have passions of different sorts. Some like the limelight, some like the firelight.
Well,
In a manner of speaking.
he was also German, and I think he grew out of his heyday and just never grew with the rest of the cinema. He still maintained a old-fashioned speakeasy. And I told him, you should update this, you'll get more people. And he's like, nope, the green room's exactly how I want it. I like the bar exactly how I like it. And I said, all right, you're going to make no money, that's fine. You can keep living in the past, but I think it's a flaw that many of our kind have. They don't adapt, they don't overcome, they don't go with the change.
Oh, I hear you. That does remind me, though, we have a new Toreador in town.
Oh.
Yeah, met him earlier today. He was looking for Jacob, much like I was when I wandered into the Looking Glass all of those nights ago. As he thinks for a minute, it's like, has it only been like a month since I came to the city?
It moves by very quickly here. And actually, you know what? Something that John mentioned. It's strange because I've lived in Sabbat City before. It's where I was sired, even though we weren't Sabbat. But it seems that New Sarum, even for the whole year that we've been here, has been nothing but chaos, one thing after another, strange instances, and perhaps, you know how they say those of our kind with enough presence can move the feeling of a city from underneath the ground, even if they're not there? Perhaps she kind of looks up towards the, what would be a sky or moon, obviously implying the Methuselah. Perhaps she is the reason why there's so much chaos here. Inadvertently, even if she was slumbering, just the fact that she's there might have drawn the madness to everyone and everything.
Maybe, as you'll sort of look up to where if there was a skylight, you would be able to see the moon. But there was something that Jacob said the other night. There were people trying to wake her up. A cult that was trying to wake her up.
Yes, there was.
Maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe this crazy town, this place where impossible things happen nightly, where even a vampire's life can be thrown into chaos. Maybe that was her plan all along. But then the question would be why?
Sometimes there's not a good why.
Yes. I can vouch for that, as he says.
Until you can actually get their whole side of the story. But I'm not one for that. I like to make opinions and just go with what I feel.
It is easier that way, and far more entertaining, as he'll smile, sort of grimly.
It's how I thrive, going off the moment and how you feel. It's just never one for this massive pre-planning, executing that's so Ventru,
Yeah.
If I can't get out the rest of my frustration and through sound, it's a bad day for everyone else.
That almost reminds me of my sire. The happiest I'd ever seen her was when she was done with Elysium, the salon. She would just go back to her place and then just open a book from a pile that she'd have on her desk and just start read. And she'd always say, "Not a word, Mortimer. This is my time." And then every single night it would be a different book, a different topic. She would just go wherever her curiosity would take her.
That's similar to how I do with sound. Everyone finds their favorites, probably the same type of tortured souls that you happen to be, Chopin being one of mine. But there's a certain amount of maturity to adult music and adults playing that music. You can have a child, like a trained monkey, play everything technically accurate, but if they haven't had the sorrows in life to be able to feel the passion in a line, they can't inflect that in their sound. There's a difference between playing the notes on the page and then singing the story.
Mm-hmm. I understand. I really do. You can't write a tragedy if you know not tragedy. I suppose that is the greatest advantage of being kindred, is that we'll never not have an abundance of conflict to fuel our passions in our work.
Sometimes that's all you can do, is just escape into it and let it take over everything else.
Mm-hmm. Just sort of become one with the moment.
That's what we need to remind everyone else of too. That's our curse and our blessing, is that we can stay not necessarily that close to humanity, but that close to feelings and urges and sensations and things that keep us from becoming so numb as we grow older.
That's the only way you can fight against the beast. The only way you can hold on.
It's so true. The other storytelling adages. She'll giggle to herself thinking about a book she had read too. Say, "Peace being a lie, there is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken."
I don't believe I've read that yet.
The Sith Code.
The Sith Code?
Grins a little bit. Did you not read any sci-fi or grow up when Star Wars came out?
Dude, don't talk to me. I love Star Wars, man. Some of my fondest memories is watching the movies with my mom and pop.
Roll me manipulation subterfuge. You didn't know the Sith Code.
The Sith Code comes from the books, not the movies, as I was going to say.
Sith Code comes straight from the books. It's not in the movies anywhere.
Can't love something without reading the books.
Yeah, he was then going to say, I didn't read the Star Wars books. I was raised as a purist.
Well, man, you get into the rest of the extended universe and you just see they make everything seem so black and white, so good versus evil. But then you start delving into the motivations behind those that are considered evil or dark, and you just realize they've walked a different path in life and they follow a different code, and they're not necessarily so black as one may think.
Well, if you give the expanded universe a suggested reading, I have no other excuse now to not pick them up. That is something that I never thought.
Take the Darth Bane trilogy if you want to see exactly how the Rule of Two came about after the Sith Academies. And then if you want to see how everything was set up for your precious movies 1, 2, 3, go read the Darth Plagueis book. It's the amount of planning that everything had gone through that Plagueis and Palpatine did beforehand. It puts everything in place. It's wonderful. And you have Netflix, right, Mortimer?
Yeah.
Okay, then you need to watch the Clone Wars too, because it will make you cry at how bad movie 3 was.
All right, I'll check those out. I guess that's one of the good things about The Lord and the Lady is they have bitchin' pool, and at least they have Netflix.
Oh, there's like 6 seasons, and they're only half-hour episodes. You can power through them all in like 2 or 3 nights.
Netflix, send us money.
Totally vampires talking about normal shit. Awesome.
Yep. As Mortimer will smile and say, I'd actually started writing again, so perhaps I'll have my episodes. Which, once he starts watching it, he probably won't be able to stop, so...
He'll binge. That's Mortimer's Toreador fascination. He binges on Netflix.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, it's great.
His curse is wonder.
This Netflix thing. I can watch all of Breaking Bad.
Why have I not watched this until now?
Oh, wonderful. I imagine the phone probably rings back sometime around now.
Ring.
You'll pick it up. Hello.
Hey, man. So, quick thing. Where did you get this again?
Oh, it was some closed art exhibit. I ended up getting an invitation since I actually got a invite into a late night talk show. It's actually going to air in a couple of nights. You should totally check it out. Cold News Serum tonight. But besides that, I don't know exactly who it was that did the thing, but it was really into ancient history. It was very occulty. You would have liked it, or at least I think you would have liked it.
No, man, I love it. I mean, just this one piece, though. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna look it up. But I mean, at first, you hear him shuffling through paper. At first, it looked Babylonian. Although, what I read your description of being Mayan, maybe Aztec, I did point this on one of my articles here. The actual
it's an important thing to
sketch-
note. He's actually started writing down all the information that Jarrett would say.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
Actually, when I read your description, the color scheme is actually directly in Aztec, which is weird because the actual sketch, the way it's laid out, it's in Roman. So
Roman?
Yeah, Roman. Have you ever heard of the cult of Luna?
No, that's new. What is it?
Well, it's a cult that's mainly in Europe. It's really not around, the States or anything. So this exhibit was probably multicultural or something. But yeah, the actual thing itself, the depiction and everything. These 7, I guess you might call them cultists, since this is portraying the cult of Luna. But these 7 people, they're holding these Thracian phalluxes. Sorry, I can't pronounce this shit.
Yeah, I understand, man. There's some weird names out there.
Nobody can.
Nobody can. But yeah, these weapons, man, they're basically lunar axes. They're really cool. If you ever see one, man, definitely
Dude, you had
have a
me at
good
lunar
examination
axes.
and,
Lunar axes. That is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of their thing. They used to do it for sacrifices and stuff like that.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah, this cult, they're like I said, it's pretty much in only Europe, so I don't know. But actually, uh, I'm still reading into this while you're talking to me here, and actually, some of the Native American tribes here practiced, you know, their religions were the celestial bodies and the seasons, and there was probably something to do with an extension of the cult, obviously, but just Native American though, since they have no affiliation with Europe. But again, this is quite a cool piece. I could have sworn I saw it somewhere else, but
Weird.
it
If you
doesn't come
remember,
to
you
mind.
gotta tell me, because, dude, like, if we could actually, like, get this thing, like, imagine the inspiration.
I'm assuming she can overhear his phone if she's using heightened senses for hearing.
You probably can.
Yeah, she'll be like, see if there's a person, like a woman or something.
Did you end up finding anything about the chick and the dude who are fighting the people with the lunar axes in the picture? Because, like, this could be, like, straight up, like, used in, like a sort of a legend of a legendary hero or heroine sort of dealio.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, they might be using like some type of godish powers. Like the fire. Um, it might be just the power of the sun or something. But to be honest, they kind of just stand out. They don't really match what the cult would do. Although this could be some type of story where these two things, because the other one's kind of cloaked. I can't see it very well, though it looks like it's wrestling, just like you said in your notes. But these two things, they do stand out, and it might just be that they're going in there to stop these cultists, but who knows,
Well, yeah.
This is definitely something more worth to research. I just this is a lot to take in.
Oh no, I understand, man. Thanks already for like the whole thing. I'm gonna see if I can find more about those freaking lunar axes and the cult of Luna, because man, that's just screaming antagonist right there.
Oh, for sure, man. No, if you have any more of these, obviously not you painting them, but whoever was your friend painted this. This is really great artwork. Just give me a call if you have anything else.
All right, you got it, man. If you hear anything else, just send me a text by, since I got one of these new phones.
You and your technology, man. You got to catch up with the times. But it's good you did.
Well, yeah. It's about time. It's about time.
Hey,
All right,
man, stay safe, make friends, and be careful. That city, we hear bad things over here in Boston.
Nah, it's not so bad. They're highly overrated. It's sort of a running joke here in New Sarum. Come at your own risk. They're thinking about getting like joke bumper stickers.
I'm surprised they don't already have any.
Maybe that could be a thing. I'll see if I can like start a thing going around. There's got to be somebody around.
Corner that market, man. Corner that market.
Yeah, this is gonna be sweet.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna spend some time on Netflix here. I'll talk to you later. Thanks again.
No problem.
Read a couple books on this cult.
Oh yeah. I'll stay in touch.
Peace, man.
All right, peace. And with that, I'll hang up the phone. I will say, man, that guy's a good guy. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yes, he knows she's Toreador, so he knows about heightened senses.
But that doesn't necessarily help us with her.
Maybe not, but remember...
We might be playing off of their thoughts and their beliefs.
I'm not entirely sure about that as he looks at the information at hand in the mural. He said that this was Aztec and Roman. Those are completely separate cultures that have never met in history.
Oh, yeah, but have you watched Ancient Aliens?
What the F is Ancient Aliens?
You haven't watched Ancient Aliens.
No,
Really, Mortar. Really, Mortimer. Really. It's on the History Channel.
There's a History Channel?
Yeah. Duh. So, like, Ancient Aliens had, like, 3 seasons. It was great late-night TV, conspiracy TV. And they would talk about civilizations and things like this and how they interacted with each other, even though they never had interaction, and how must have been aliens. But in this case, maybe it was kindred. You know, like the Mayans and the Aztecs did all these sacrifices with blood and hearts and things, and blood trickling down their pyramids. Just like this room, maybe it was going to feed some ancient vampire elder. We didn't have the masquerade forever. Maybe
well, no, that's what I was thinking.
Like that in Rome as well as in Latin America.
Like, think of it like this: the cult of Luna has never been seen outside of Europe. And we know exactly of 2 inspirations for this: Aztec and Roman. And Roman is European. Rome is from Europe. I'm willing to bet that the cult of Luna is from Rome. Like, think of it. If the Sabbat and this Apollo of Corinth were behind the cult in there, then it may be that Apollo of Corinth has ties to the cult of Luna. Then that means that whoever this girl is and her friend, maybe they're the Aztec inspiration. I think that's where we should begin searching to see if we can find information.
Who's this Apollo guy, other than the Greek god? Like,
you don't know about Apollo of Corinth?
She thinks about it for a second. Corinth. No, I remember Apollo, like the ancient Greek temples and stuff, but I sucked at history, man.
No. Apollo of Corinth. He's this La Sombra. He's got a blood hunt on him.
Oh, you're not talking history. You're talking to La Sombra. Okay.
Yeah. Straight up. He's the guy who supposedly started the Sons of Zeus in the Asylum.
This Asylum?
Yeah. St. Barnabas' Asylum for the criminally insane.
And he likes shadows, and shadows have moons, and this is Roman. And you know who else is Roman? Italian people. You know who else is Italian?
The Giovanni.
They had influence over City Hall, and then there was blockage of, like, the way that the security systems were working. I mean, I'm not saying they're involved, but let me just be a conspiracy theorist right here and put on my ancient alien like Giorgio Souvlakis hat here and think about all the different circles and circles and circles.
This is definitely some sort of kindred conspiracy. We need to deliver this information to the prince and the other harpies right away.
Well, without looking like we're batshit crazy.
No. They need to hear about this. There's just one thing that I'm not getting. Like, this is the only part of the story that's not linking up, is that why on Earth was a Malkavian Methuselah beneath the temple, and why on earth were the cult of Luna trying to awaken it? This has nothing to do, as far as I'm sure, with, well, unless...
Think about it. Like, okay, the way that they used to think of women, they used to say that you had your menstrual period when the moon had its pull. They called, like, lunacy and craziness and losing your mind was named after wandering womb disease. And what are the Malkavians known for? Being a little bit off their kilter.
But there's no connection between Clan Malkavian and the followers of Zeus other than this Dr. Mogan's connection to it. We need to find the motivation to why Apollo, like how Apollo of Corinth is tied, how the Sons of Zeus and the cult of Luna are tied together. If we can find the reason, if we can find the motivation, it's a story. That's what it is. It's a story. We have our heroes, we have our antagonists, but we need to answer the question of why.
Well, these humans could just be a bunch of red shirts.
That could be true. But they could just be a bunch of red shirts. Nice Star Trek reference there, as you'll go for the high five. Kindred have used mortals for centuries as blood bags. I mean, you've seen what our own prince has done during desperate times. So I'm not too concerned about the humans, it's the vampires, because vampires never do anything if they are not going to gain something Unless they too are being manipulated. We need to find the manipulator. We need to find the puppet master.
Maybe it's not a person. Maybe it's the thing.
The thing? You mean like the Methuselah?
Well, it could be like the Methuselah, but maybe she's not really the big draw here either. Like, I'm talking like Ark of the Covenant kind of stuff, where you've just got something that's so powerful that it draws people to it. And if
in that case,
a cult that had ties to like the ancient moon goddess and something that powerful,
I think I see what you're saying. What
it's
if the
not just
reason...
a person, it may be a thing.
You're right.
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
No. Think of this. What if we did have it wrong? What if it wasn't the Methuselah who was causing all of this chaos? What if there's something else? Something else in New Sarum? What if it's something that this Methuselah wants? What if that's why it was brought here? What if that's why it wanted to awaken here?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, we gotta bring this to the prince immediately. As he's already now just... He's finished typing all of the information that his friend gave him, has it on his phone, and he begins using the Harpy network to send the information out. He says, "Do you know if the prince is busy right now?"
Hold on. Let me text him. And she looks at her, and she doesn't act like it's no big thing either. She just, which is probably pretty weird, because most people are probably like, "Oh, text the prince." Yeah, no. But she gets out her
right
phone.
Now he's so drawn in that he doesn't even put two and two together.
She looks at, taps at the phone, taps for a little while, hits the send button, and sees if it goes anywhere. Text message reads, "Hey, John, Mort and I have a breakthrough with this whole asylum shit. You awake? Or you doing some boring ass venture shit?" Question. Just sent it to Matt.
He's
Like,
playing
was she slowly mouthing this off? Because
No, she's not gonna mouth it, but she's just gonna look at it like.
oh, okay then. So yeah, he's still gonna be blissfully unaware. As he's just like, what could it mean?
Say, well, I sent a message to him. We'll see if he's up. But yeah, it could be. It could be anything, and we gotta find out if High Call made it out.
That's right.
Because when we left, it was just he had vanished. I don't know anything about supernatural. I got raised Catholic, okay? We know about, like, incense and eating wafers. Like, we don't know any of the rest of this mojo stuff. That was bad news bears. You don't poke into that. You go to hell. So...
Luckily, all writers are going to hell, so this is sort of my speciality.
Well, I've done enough to get myself there as well, but it's just a matter of can you do enough good in the meantime?
Oh, of course. The story's only good during the middle. And if the end has the proper feeling.
I mean, and she looks at the sitting there drawing down on the picture anymore, too. We could always check the library, too. Like, Jacob may have a better idea being, like, an old bookstore person. And my foster sire, she was an archaeologist, too. But I don't know if I can get a hold of Nazira, because I think she went back to Egypt, and I haven't seen her since then.
I've not heard of her. Is she another Toreador?
Yes, she is.
Hmm.
She's on the same age as Jacob. She looks at her phone as it's like, "Hey, listen!" And looks it over, and reads it over. Okay, he's not busy. Let me text him back. Hold on, let me see where he's at. She texts back over to John, and it says, okay, Mort and I are OMW, exclamation mark. Where are you so I can meet you, sexy B, question mark. And then sends it over. The whole time she's just like, hit send. Says, all right, he's not busy, so we can get this to rock and roll, and at least tell him. Maybe he's got some more information as to what had happened.
Agreed. As he begins already putting his stuff away, and he looks at her and says, thanks again, Kalliope.
Well,
this has gone far better than I could have possibly hoped.
Bring anything else that we happen to have.
On it is he.
Just European cults, or I mean, it's not anything great. We kind of knew that pagans worship the seasons, but what the hell that has to do with a Methuselah is that's the set.
No. We've done better than that. We have a name, and a name is power. This means we have a lead.
She looks over at the weapons again, too, and just looks at it and says, did you play any video games, Mortimer?
I played Nintendo. Super Nintendo was the shit.
Well, yeah, Super Nintendo was the shit, and Zelda was the shit, too, but I'm talking,
definitely.
Current ones.
Oh, no, I haven't touched this stuff. I've been too busy being, kindred.
She looks it over and is like, come to think of it now, too, it's a lot like one of the weapons that Diana has in League of Legends. I'm kind of a kid of the modern times, so I grew up on video games.
I don't know much about League of Legends, but Diana is also another one of the deities from ancient Greece, if I'm not mistaken. It all seems to come back.
Diana would be the Roman name, and Artemis would be the Greek name, if I remember my 5th grade.
Artemis?
Well,
as the name automatically perks his ears, as it were. It says, Artemis is the goddess of the hunt and sister to Apollo, the god of the sun.
Yes, she is. I did my 5th grade class project on that, where I had to make a styrofoam Mount Olympus and dress up as a Greek goddess. I picked her.
Ooh.
I'm not even lying. I'm totally pulling on real life here.
That is pretty cool, actually.
But yeah, I mean, that's what she did. She was the goddess of the hunt and the moon and young virginal women and people who wanted to escape from that marriage life, and had her deer and her bow and other things, and also her curved, like, not quite a scythe, not quite a scimitar, like the little swordy Kirby thing, but in League of Legends, Diana has one too, and she just hunts and slashes things down and tracks them down with her super moon powers.
I just had a terrifying thought. What if Apollo is also Methuselah? What if the thing that awoke was his sister?
Maybe they could have been siblings in real life and got embraced.
Think about it. If that lady in the depiction is Diana,
and he's the shadow.
Yes, we got to bring this to the prince right away as he's
too good.
Heading out to the door.
But we're too awesome to be off. She looks over and says, "Come to the motorcycle."
To the Toreador mobile.
To the mobile. She goes and runs off and grabs her helmet in like an excited flash of speed, since there's nobody else over here. Just throws on her bike jacket and the helmet. It's like, All right, I got him. And she.
It's all right. Crank it as he holds on for dear life.
Checks her phone again to get the description of where John was, and then says, "All right, we're off," and tosses him the back helmet so that they can drive off to John's.
All right. He puts the helmet on. The motorcycle revs, and then, true to Kalliope's motorcycle abilities, there's sort of a Knight Rider streak of fire behind her as she drives off into the night. And that is where the scene will end.
The first set will end.